Uh-oh, is this thing on? We recording? What down, Joe? It's Snow Home TV back with another boxing video. What's goody, y'all? Alright, I had some time. I'm up here in Michigan between Detroit and Flint. Headed back to Chicago way. You know. So I'm in between Clarissa Shields and Alicia Baumgartner. On my way back to the Shizai, to the Kriz Nib, you know what I'm saying? But real quick, man, I kind of wanted to cram this into yesterday's video, but I thought that it deserved its own separate video. And that's the Keith Thurman Tzsyu fight that's coming up, man. Now, for those that don't know or didn't see, Fight Hype had an interview where they had, I think it was Fight Hype, either Fight Hype or Fight Hub, one of the two. But Sean Porter, Showtime Sean Porter, former welterweight champion and former opponent to Keith one-time Thurman, was doing a little, live interview, a little Instagram live or whatever the fuck. And they were talking about, the upcoming fight with Tzsyu, yada, yada, yada. And I swear, man, not more than 5 minutes into the conversation, Tzsyu chimes in as far as, getting on live with Keith and Sean. Yeah, oh my goodness gracious, man, this dude got confidence out of this world. He's talking big shit. He's talking all this. He's gonna knock him out. Doesn't matter if Keith Thurman runs and this, that, and the third. He's coming up to my weight class. He's gonna get bullied. He's gonna get smashed and all this other shit. And you know what? Out of all that shit talking that Tzsyu did, I believe him. Yes, indeed, I believe him. You wanna know why I believe him? I believe him because of Keith Thurman's body language during all the time he was saying all that shit. Keith was stuttering and slow with the comebacks, and Sean Porter was instigating shit. He's like, damn, Keith, you gonna let him play with your name, man? He talking big stuff. He saying that he gonna turn one time into last time. All kind of shit. Talking greasy cash shit. All I know is, man, I had any hopes I had on Keith Thurman pulling off an upset against Tzsyu got dashed out the window, man, when I saw just how afraid he looked of this fight coming up. You could tell, in Keith Thurman's face, man, he just had this deer caught in headlights look, as if, Tzs유's the boogeyman or some shit. We already know that Jermell Charlo ducked out of the division to go fight Canelo from him, as well as, Terrence Crawford. And the whole time we thought, because of the Earl Spence Terrence Crawford rematch not happening, or because of whatever, situations or medical issues Earl has to work out, that the next order of business was going to be Bud versus Tzsyu. Then there was also talks, low-key, after Virgil Ortiz moved up to 154, that it was going to be Virgil Ortiz and Tzsyu. But of course, Tzsyu takes the low-hanging fruit, which you can't really blame him. Thurman's a name. Thurman is a once-upon-a-time name, but he's still a name. He was unified champion at one time. He was beating everybody in front of him. He was undefeated. His only losses against Manny Pacquiao. And now it's looking like, man, Tzsyu is going to walk through him, like he was saying. I'm going to walk right through you. I'm just like, Thurman's not disputing it. So, I mean, I have no choice but to believe that it could be true. But all in all, man, I don't know, man. I guess I was hoping for a ebb and flow, a back and forth fight. Hell, even an upset. That would have been great for boxing. But it looks like Tzs유's going to run through yet another, I wouldn't say ill-prepared, but I'll definitely say, another fighter that's not on his level at the current moment, considering his trajectory and his momentum. Keith ain't fought in, 2 years? In his last fight was against Barrios. That was an iffy fight, but he still looked pretty good in it and won the fight. And before that was his first loss ever in his career against Manny Pacquiao, albeit a legend. Manny was still older at the time. It was technically one of those fights that Keith could have won. I mean, hell, Ugas put the fops on Manny. We all know that Earl was going to put the fops on Manny. And we all know that if Crawford would have got that fight, Crawford would have put the fops on Manny. So there we go, man. You know, keep one-time Thurman versus Tim Tzsyu. Tim Tzsu's very cocky, very confident, you know, going into this fight, as he should be, considering, you know, the deck is kind of stacked against Thurman. Now, when all these talks of Virgil Ortiz and Terrence Bud Crawford came up, Tim Tzsyu didn't seem as enthusiastic. I'm gonna just be honest. He seemed a little bit more on the, well, you know, if the fight happens, it happens, or it you know, in due time. It's like, nah, fuck a due time. We need to see you tested. Talk way too much shit. You're the quote-unquote son of a legend, so we need to see what you made of. You know, and that don't mean keep knocking off these B-level fighters, man, you know. Albeit if, you know, once upon a time they was an A-level fighter. You know, the same shit Gennady Golovkin was doing. We want to see motherfuckers fight the best. Point blank, period. And that goes across the board in boxing in all weight classes. Anyway, man, it's No Home TV. I'll be back with another one. Peace.